The romantic sex drive arrives before the license to drive. At least it did for me. This created a very uncomfortable situation, 3 times I think, where my mother was the chauffeur for my date. It came down to the simple choice of whether to stifle my instincts as an emerging young man to be with a female, or to tolerate the primary female in my life, my mother, intervening with her prevalent personality. On the first occasion of this collision of wills, I invited a young girl named Chrissy out to a movie and a hamburger. Unfortunately, the drop-off was some 12 miles away, so we had to endure my mother's attempts to be relevant to the younger generation. I did not realize there were so many derivations of the word kids, but in the process of the 30-minute drive, Chrissy and I were referred to as children, youngsters, teenies, a child, students, kiddos, and cuties. Even though I was extraordinarily embarrassed, I was determined to endure the ordeal for the privilege of spending time with this young lady who had decided I was worth at least one evening's consideration. I cannot tell you that the situation became much better after we were dropped off at the theater. I was so nervous that I can't even remember what movie we went to, and was unable to finish my hamburger, which normally I would have done easily with an extra one on the side. The whole time I was trying to figure out if I was talking enough or talking too much. I can't explain the gauntlet of pain I endured in an attempt to hold her hand, but soon I realized that she was just as terrified as I was, because when I reached for her dainty fingers in the theater, what I grasped was similar to a wet sponge. Questions popped into my mind. Do I kiss her? What would she think? Do I know how to kiss? How could I make sure my mother would not see? Would Chrissy laugh at me? Would she make fun of me with her friends? What if I don't kiss her? Well, my mother picked us up and took us back to the house, and fortunately, Chrissy decided to take a detour to the back door of the home, where we would have more privacy from my mother's purview. My knees were buckling, and there was a tiny dribble of sweat that was careening down my leg. We climbed the stoop, and before I could even consider my next move, Chrissy leaned over and kissed me on the lips, pulled away for a brief second, and then came in and kissed me again. I barely even noticed the onion from her hamburger. Without another word, she disappeared into the house. Rarely in my life have I experienced the euphoria that followed that divine piece of lip lock. I felt a combination of gratitude along with a notification by mail that I was officially voted in as master of the universe. I was even able to enjoy the ever-flowing conversation with my mother on the way home. Chrissy kissed me. And like so many other wonderful women who have honored me with their presence, she saw my weakness and helped me turn it in to a strength.